Five. To her. Forever. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to the July 6th, 2026 Select Board meeting. Jessica.
Thank you. First up this evening is department head updates. Can I start with Matthew?
Yeah, I was off last week, but mostly getting prepped for the water and sewer rate that we looked at the work session. And now also getting ready for the budget committee meeting. That's on July 21st. Yes, that's Tuesday at 5:15. So getting ready for that. So we're trying to make the last June adjustment. So that's all prepped for that.
That's it. Yeah, everybody else is off this evening. Maggie's gonna head out and finish up the manifest after this, so thank you. There are no appointments this evening and no public hearings. First up is the review of minutes for the June 15th, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
Make the motion to accept. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes.
There you go. Next up is sign various paperwork. We have a timber tax warrant for Foss, tax map R22, lot 3A3, and for $733.70. Also, a timber tax warrant for Cox, tax map R19, lot 29, for $75.18. New business, street name for the New Hampshire DOT buildings facilities. So the New Hampshire DOT is in the process of E911 addressing their properties. And as you know, in town, they have a number of facilities behind their shed. They've provided us a number of different options and looking for you all to name this road this evening so that they can move forward with E911. Whether or not, I know that you've previously taken a stance to name them in more meaningful ways, provided it's the state's.
Which I have, but those are town roads that people are actually gonna see the street sign for. This one's not particularly something that a lot of people are gonna see.
I agree. They've provided the town 3 options for their preferred street names. One is Maintenance Way, a second is Service Road, and a third is Granite Way. So if you have a feeling, between now, I think Jason was thinking Granite Way was probably most powerful.
Maintenance shed, so I kind of like maintenance way, but
Mm.
I'm not.
I like Granite Way. It's a little more upscale too. Upscale for me, it's a state.
Shed. Make a motion to name the street Granite Way. I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor?
I,
Thank you.
Or humor, you're humoring. Don't get on one fast.
Next up for new business, we have other business. This evening we had a work session regarding community buildings and came up from the topic of Colonel Town's capital reserve funds.
I would make a motion to expend up to $50,000 out of the capital reserve fund for Colonel Town towards building repairs.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. There's no old business this evening, so a little bit light of agenda, select board member report.
I'll just start, great job on the parade. Thank you, Charity, because I know you did a lot of the organizing and stuff. And thank you, Jessica. I think it was a nice parade and probably one of the larger ones that we've had in a few years. And, event in the park was very nice.
We'll dovetail on that. Everyone that pitched in, I mean, you led the way, Jessica, but all of the staff that were there for setup and everything that it took, it does take a village, and the amount of feedback we got was positive. The picnic was fun, and it was nice to have something to do right after the parade instead of scattering to the wind. So hats off, good to good there.
Now the third one, and I'll just follow Shannon and Jean.
He's staying on my good side. I like it.
All good.
All right, next up is the town manager report. I do have news to deliver to you regarding staff. Timmy Billadu has provided his retirement notice to the town. So we are moving forward. I know Leon sat down with us today. We're moving forward with forming up a plan for next steps. I have received 3 welfare awards. I have provided 3 welfare awards since the last meeting, and I attended a training in Concord. Colonel Town players did come in to speak with me. They are, of course, eager to get back into the building. I think you heard this evening, we're trying to figure out next steps for this building, but we're focusing on Colonel Town for now, which is the message I delivered to them. They may be looking to use the auditorium space for some meetings versus performances. So we are continuing to work with them. We understand they're a community group, longstanding ties to the town and the building. We are in the process of updating our sewer use ordinance. So once that's processed, it'll go to DES for approval and then to you all for a public hearing, probably late summer, early fall. And again, I wanted to dovetail on all of the efforts for July 4th. I know Charity, Jean Olson's beautiful compadres, Lancaster Fire, Lancaster Police Department, all of the community groups who showed up for the day, all of the groups that were outside of Lancaster that showed up. Hats off to Megan and Eli. They had an ice cream social. I went, and Leon was there. It was quite full, and they did a wonderful job of bringing up memorabilia and displays to celebrate Colonel Town's 100th birthday. So the feedback that I received from that event, people really enjoyed it. We served over 400 hot dogs. We had people kind of milling about. It was very hot, and the ice cream social was well received. So kudos. I felt very proud for Lancaster, not only looking at all of the beautiful memorabilia and memories that were in Colonel Town, but also kind of looking at it from, we stood up and we said, hey, this is important to celebrate. And we did it and, got together, and that's something to be proud of these days. So kudos to the community for, rolling up their sleeves and doing the good work.
And I also said the Historic Society for doing the tours of the Wilder Cemetery was very well received.
I agree.
People enjoyed that.
Yep. Yep, and they've been very good partners with the town. I want to thank them. I was invited to a reception they had to dedicate their porch from behalf of the town and for Roz, I can't remember the Vlad, yes, yes. So they're doing wonderful things for Lancaster to make sure that our history is recorded, future generations to consume. We will be putting out to bid an excess trailer that's over at the EMS bay, so that'll be going out, opening soon. Probably closing that in August for your all's consideration. That is it for me this evening. There is information in your packets for a planning board meeting notice for July 8th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. We have a request for more information from the New Hampshire DES for dredge and fill for Crane Tax Map R13, Lot 68. We have a series of land use permits. One is for the Lancaster Estates Mobile Home Park at 3 Cub Street. We also have Lancaster Estates Mobile Home Park at 5 Cub Street. Ultimate Rehab LLC for various locations to construct a 14 foot 8 inches by 66 feet 8 inches concrete slabs at various locations for no more than 37 sites within the park. So this will be out there as well. St. Paul's Church at 113 Main Street. Ultimate Rehab for tax map P5 lot 24-M5. Another vacant lot abutting 29 Forbes Street for Ultimate Rehab LLC. That's tax map 5 lot 24 M7. We also have a land use permit for Patricia Steady at 35 Winter Street. For Joel and Stephanie Dupree at 550 Main Street. And also for Ken and Heidi Chester at 13 Governor's Terrace. So you can see, probably been very busy this permit. That is it this evening for me. Next up is public comment.
Are there any comments tonight? Okay, you're off.
I'll be quick. But I would like to, first of all, ask for some help about publishing notices of meetings. From the 6th of June, there was a trust fund meeting that was somehow marked on the calendar. There was no resident notice emails about it. And so I missed it and at today's meeting, I was called by service citizens asking for a meeting. But they looked and there was no date on the calendar on the regular thing and no agenda published for either of your two meetings. Now, I was able to find the resident notices, but the custom is usually send July something or other, and then it lists both in a minute. So if we could have some help bringing that back, that would be great. Also, I noticed that tomorrow, the Borough Town Spending Committee is tomorrow night, and I haven't seen any notice about that nowhere. So I'm not sure how all this can trigger off, but it seems to be a little bit looser than it used to be. So another thing that's come up is in the past, a lot of scholarship funds people would like it for high school and stuff like that, ended up coming to the trustees of the trust fund, and not only that's your scholarship fund, but the White fund. And what's just occurred is the Lancaster alumni was making plans for the Carroll Stoughton scholarship, how they might, because everybody's aging out, how it might be conducted in the future. And so they made a tentative agreement to continue the officers and trustees for a year, get things working, get a lawyer put together. Preference would be to keep the investment manager as well as part. And they have said that they want the Assumption Bank to be in charge of administering the scholarships. And I think that there are other ways to do it more efficiently. And that the reason that it was suggested that way, it was go to the dinner because people didn't understand what the options were. I personally prefer to have all Lancaster based funds under the trust fund, and I think the law says that. So we're not trying to be difficult, we're trying to make it easy for a group that's trying to figure out how to keep it going and everyone's going. And so I wanted to bring that to your attention. Did you, or if this is a new hearing, and I can hear my dog can't hear you guys. Did you discuss the plan for community tank concert, et cetera?
The event in October?
There's a committee that's organizing this. Jessica goes, Robin goes, Maeve's here as the head of it, Gene Olson, and
No, we didn't discuss that.
not Fitch anymore. There's a group that's working on it, and it's being spearheaded, funding is being spearheaded by the Northern Forest Council. And they're going to set the how to fix up, make sure you can park there and all. But since I haven't heard anything about it here, and I've just stumbled on it, I thought maybe you guys, if one should be, and since it's planned for October, that it's a good thing. They're trying to get it to reinvigorate the state by more cement. So there's plenty of reason to support it, but at the same time, now liability. Here's what he's called. So I wanted to bring that up. So I probably only like 3 minutes. Let me see if I can dial. I think that's good. We don't want it to walk out if you like the annex field there. Don't want to work. Also want 5 committees that can't do it all.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay.
So on Saturday, when was here in Lancaster, it was 1948 Ford tractor to be in the parade. My in-law was early. Then my son, Kurt, was a letter carrier, and I were both EMTs in the city, and I was in nursing. And I can't, my whole family cannot sing the praises enough for the ambulance that was in the parade, and 2 police officers. Very professional. They were very receptive to the fact that my son and I know how to deal with these situations. And they allowed us to be part of it. But it didn't just end there. When she went to the hospital, the care that we gave her was phenomenal. And then once they had her stabilized, knowing that it is getting close to her end of life, our parish priest from Berlin, Father Kyle, came today to give her extreme functions, and she'll go back to New Jersey tomorrow, be around family. The hospital. Does it go? That's it. So great.
Thank you for letting us know.
That was very powerful, and thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Like to enter into a non-public session, 91A3, 2C, matters which, if discussed in public, would likely adversely affect the reputation of any person.
And it's roll call vote. Sure.
First,
Okay.
go into non-public session for 91A3. C,
Yes, A32C.
A32C. As
Action.
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call.
I,
I,
Aye.